Hey YouTube! Sorry about the kind of suckish lighting, but I'm in my basement recording a video because if I did it in my room, my mom would hear me because her room is right next to my room, and I kind of have this thing where I really don't want people to hear me when I record a video or see me when I record a video or something weird like that. But then at the same time I want to post it and have everybody see it. It's weird and doesn't make any sense, and I'm not really gonna explain it because I don't even understand it, so don't worry about it because I don't get it either. Um, so yeah, here I am, and I have 3 funny stories to tell you. Story number 1. Okay, so today I log on to the One Car Wonder YouTube thing, the main page or whatever, and you know how they have the recommended for you videos and stuff? Well, I got a kick out of this. I log in, and one of the recommended for you videos I see is a Jonas Brothers video. That's right, YouTube, a Jonas Brothers video. And, my immediate thought is, oh, that's a stupid song. Not, oh, it's the Jonas Brothers? No, it's, oh, it's a stupid song. Because, admittedly, I kind of like the Jonas Brothers. Don't judge me, YouTube. Don't judge me. I don't, obsess over them, and I don't, buy all of their songs and silly things like that, but I don't think they're terrible. Okay, let me get something straight, alright? They can't sing. They can't. They sound whiny and out of breath, and they sound like their lungs are gonna give out any second while they're singing. But they don't suck. I mean, they do. I mean, their singing does. They're singing. Singing. That sucks. That is terrible. Terrible. But their lyrics to their songs and, what their songs are about and, the beats and stuff, they're kind of good in my opinion. I think they're nice songs. Aside from the fact that the people performing the songs can't sing, they're good songs. I really think that somebody should, re-record all of the Jonas Brothers songs, and then they'll, make a crapola of money because they'll be able to sing better than the Jonas Brothers, hopefully. So yeah, that's story number 1. Story number 2. Lunch today. So, my lunch is always a rather interesting experience because I have quite a lot of friends, and a lot of the time, okay, so at my school, they really didn't plan the whole people sitting next to each other thing very well. The tables are minuscule, and, the chairs are, they only have, 4 chairs around one table or whatever, and these tables are really tiny. So, what ends up happening is that all of my friends grab chairs, and they all, cram around one table. And then also there's, my drama friends who are all, coincidentally, I believe they are all older than me, with the exception of Joseph and Sam, and the freshmen who are fresh off the boat, but, all the people who are actually at my school, because the 9th graders are all separated. Yeah, so they also are crammed around at a table, but it's slightly less of them than at my other table. Because that table, there's, no space. Everybody's sharing a chair with everybody, and, the table is tiny, and it's, packed, and it's actually kind of funny. We counted one time, and there were 12 people. Yeah, that's quite a lot. I'm willing to bet that at least 4 of them were actually sharing chairs with people. But, it's a funny experience. But anyway, after a while, though, I do get claustrophobic, so after hanging out with my friends for a little bit, I go to the other table, the drama table, where, Zach and Marie, sometimes Sam, Joseph, and George, and, Jessica, and Alexis, and, are there anybody else who sits there? But yeah, that's about it. Anyway, so I went over there, and they usually sit in a booth, but they weren't sitting in a booth today. So I sat down, and I'm like, why aren't you guys sitting in a booth? And they're all like, 'cause we're not. So I sat down, or I was going to sit down, but there wasn't really anywhere to sit. So George was going to let me share a chair with him. So I did. Then Maria, looks at me with this look of horror, and she says, "Giuliana, you sit with Jessica. You share a chair with Jessica." So I moved. Because I listened to Maria, because Maria is kind of like unofficially my mother. She mothers me. She mothers everybody, but me especially. I think it's just because I'm younger than her. So I sat next to Jessica, and Maria, she looks at me, and she says, "Giuliana is not allowed to date, talk to, or sit next to boys. She does not interact with boys. She does not date. She is Giuliana. She only interacts with girls." And to this, I just kind of sighed and ignored her and sat down, and this is kind of the whole Maria mothers me thing. She says things like this because she cares about my well-being, because she loves me. But yeah, it was an interesting experience. It kind of made me laugh, actually. It was funny, especially since afterwards I say, "Well, what about Zach, Sam, and Joseph?" And then she's like, "They don't count. They're not boys." But yeah, it was funny. It was an interesting day. Oh, and then the third funny story. Number 3. So, what happened was, I was in drama class, and we were playing an improv game called Freeze. I'm not going to explain the game because it's too much complicatedness. But, so, one of my friends was doing a scene, and then, like, my teacher, Miss Bachman, goes in and tags somebody out to go take their place. And then, all of a sudden, like, she had to take off her shoe because the person she was replacing had their shoe off. So she takes off her shoe, and I catch a glimpse of her sock. And it looks kind of, like, familiar for some reason. And then, I let them carry on with the scene, and when they freeze again, I'm like, "Miss Bachman, what socks are you wearing?" And she's like, "Oh, I'm wearing my tube socks, because, get it, they have the London Tube on them." And I was like, "No way! Because I have a pair of tube socks, and I was wearing them. I'm wearing them right now. I was wearing them. And it was awesome." And I'm like, "Miss Bachman, I'm wearing tube socks." And I showed her, and then we high-fived. And Miss Bachman's officially, like, the coolest teacher in the world. I've always thought she was, but now, like, it's especially prevalent that she's awesome. So yeah, so those are my awesome stories. That's what happened in my day. Yesterday was my audition for Chicago. I don't know if I talked about that. I don't think so. Yesterday was my audition for Chicago, which I think went really, really well. It was really exciting. I had a really good time. And I really hope that the dance audition goes well, and then I get called back, and fabulousness like that. So, that is what is up. Until the next video, whenever that may be. Maybe tomorrow. No, not tomorrow. I have a lot to do tomorrow. Until the next video, whenever that may be. Goodbye, YouTube.